So, Spider-Man No Way Home is coming out in under a month, and it's seemingly setting out to be as big as Avengers Endgame. With all these villains from the Sam Raimi and Mark Webb movies, with Tobey Maguire and Andrew probably being in it, like they've not kept this like a big secret at all. But that's not the point I want to get at. The main point is that this could be the very last time we see Tom Holland as our friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man. So, in honour of that, and with No Way Home in under a month, I decided we should celebrate, and that's why I'm doing a review on Spider-Man Homecoming and No Way Home. This film, to me, has a big task, with it needing to clean up Spider-Man's movie franchise, because technically the last Spider-Man film was Amazing Spider-Man 2, and well... let's just say it didn't do that great. But Homecoming decides, instead of continuing on that dark and gritty story, it takes a step back and becomes a comedy.
I'm looking at porn.
Which personally, I believe was a good choice. I'm not saying this film doesn't get serious, but when this film does it, this film feels like it earns it. Instead of the last film not making me that invested in the story. So things like Gwen Stacy's death doesn't make me feel the seriousness of the scene. But I'll get back to that, but let's first talk about Tom's Spider-Man, because this is what this video is actually about. Tom was pretty good in Civil War. With him being quite a pop culture nerd who you can tell has never thought someone has the strength of Cap. Since he's only been more friendly neighbourhood up to this point, he still though tries to act tough in front of the rest of the Avengers. You know, being a kid and all. But cut to Homecoming, he goes back to the friendly neighbourhood shtick, but Peter believes he's more than that now, but we can clearly tell that's just not the case. When he goes to interrogate Aaron Davis, he doesn't hit it out of the park straight away.
Remember me? Hey, I need information, you can give it to me now.
What happened to your voice?
What do you mean, what happened to my voice?
I heard you by the bridge. I know what a girl sound like.
I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. I mean, I'm a man. Give me names or else. Deactivate interrogation mode.
But the thing that truly proves my point is the ferry fight, which shows Peter's arrogance getting the better of him. He leaves detention, interrogates Davis, which we've already discussed, but Davis tells Peter that Tombstone is heading for the ferry to enact a deal, which Spidey puts a stop to. But what he does realise is that he has no clue how to stop the Chitauri tech, and is incapable of letting this happen. And then, the whole ferry has been cut in half. Spidey acts quick and webs up the entire ferry, but then Karen tells him,
"Great job, Peter. You're 98% successful."
98? The webbing falls apart. Peter doesn't know what to do, and then he thinks of his last-ditch effort to hold it all apart with his bare strength until...
Hi, Spider-Man. Band practice, was it?
Tony sees that Peter's not capable enough to handle this sort of power, so he takes the suit away and believes he's not responsible. It leaves Peter to go into the final fight with his homemade suit, making him incredibly weak in comparison to his previous fights. But this leads into, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man scene in cinematic history. Peter finds Toombs. He's almost ready to rob the Avengers plane and asks him,
"How could you do this to her?"
with Vulture saying,
To her. I'm not doing anything to her, Pete. I'm doing this for her.
It leads Peter to ask,
"Why are you telling me this?"
and then he instantly replies with,
Because I want you to understand. And I need a little time to get her airborne.
the wings charge right at him. Peter just tries to dodge it and stop it, but then he replies with,
What are you talking about? That thing hasn't even touched me yet!
with Adrian replying,
True. Then again, wasn't really trying to.
Chief, they're powering up engines.
Okay!
Come on.
Yeah!
with it then all falling on Peter, leading to Adrian having a quick and easy escape. But this isn't the scene. This is just the build-up to the scene that takes place after this. Peter is trapped. He's underneath the building which literally just crashed on him. He takes off his mask to make it easier to breathe. He prepares to lift up the debris. After this, Peter does what pretty much he's come to know.
Hello! I'm down here! I'm down here! I'm stuck! I'm stuck! I can't move! I can't...
He says he needs help because up to this point, he's been saved out of every situation that has come to him. But no one will. No one will come. No one can hear him. But all of a sudden, he hears the words that Tony said to him when he took his suit away.
You're nothing without this suit. Then you shouldn't have it.
With that, reminding himself, he says, with him again, attempting to lift up the debris that just fell on him. This is my favourite scene in the film for a few reasons. Number one, it says so much with so little words and barely any music. Number two, it obviously points out throughout this entire film, Tony has been a safety net, which is holding back Peter to his full potential. But with that all said and done, let's just finish this film off. Peter catches up to the Vulture midway through robbing the plane. Peter sets off the alarm to get Toomes' attention, leading to the final fight. But throughout the fight, the plane has been slowly getting damaged, to the point where near the end of the fight, a plane crashes, with them both being left at the beach, which leads to my second favourite scene, which I won't get into as much depth as the first, but let's just talk about it anyway. Peter gets up and can't hear anything. He's seemingly only trying to catch a breath, until... BAM! The Vulture uses his chance to catch Peter off guard and get a little hit in there. Have a small brawl with its point for Adrian to kill Peter. Until...
Bingo.
So he leaves Peter and just tries to grab the stuff and escape scot-free. Peter realises what he's doing and sees that his wings are going to explode, so he tries to stop him. Peter even warns Vulture, telling him this, with him saying,
Your wings are gonna explode!
But nevertheless, it explodes. Without a moment's notice, Peter runs into the fire, attempting to save whatever is left of Toomes. He ends up saving Toomes. He still goes to jail, but at least he's saved him. And that's the sign of a true hero. So, Homecoming ended up being really good. The characters are likeable and fun, the comedy mostly lands, and the villain doesn't die. So you know what? I'm gonna be nice for once. And I'm giving this film a 7 out of 10. Okay, Homecoming done. What's next? Okay, this one's gonna be very interesting what the comments are gonna be. Can you see on me, walk into my